Hello to all you beautiful beings tuning into today's message. This is the Crow's Nest. I'm your host, Crystaljoy, Wounded Healer. And what I have for you today is your daily guidance messages. So we're going to start with some tarot in regards to what it is that you need to be aware of and focusing on for today. And moving into after that is going to be the angel messages for what your guidance is going to be with the angel number deck, okay? But before I begin, I actually wanted to mention, I was not aware until this morning that we had Mercury Retrograde go into effect. I kind of stumbled on those words for a second. Mercury Retrograde. So that started yesterday, and we're going to be in retrograde until I believe June 23rd. So what this is talking about, the Mercury retrograde is, some confusion, some delays, and some frustration in regards to communication. So there's going to be just a transmission's just going to be thrown off a little bit during this time. It's just going to be a little bit off balance, okay? So I was really looking into this and what it is, that we need to know the most in regards to how do we move through this Mercury retrograde that's going to be with us for the next 3 weeks or so. And it was really a message about just remaining in the heart space, not getting too much in the mind. That's really interesting because as I was doing my cleansing, you can hear the music. And this is music that I use often in my readings. But the wolf was really standing out to me today, and I was kind of wondering, kind of sitting with that, and I actually saw a wolf, and the wolf to me actually represents ego, because I had an experience once where I was doing, some deep meditation, some inner healing, and I actually there's a long story behind it all, but basically I confronted my ego, which was represented to me as a pack of wolves, and I actually quite literally faced them and chased them away. And that was the moment when I had, kind of taken control over my ego. And so that might resonate for some of you here, when I mentioned, being in the heart space and not too much in the mind. If you catch yourself getting too much in the mind, just know that the effects of retrograde might be taking over you a little bit. So just focus on getting back into the heart space. Don't let your ego take over. But if that starts to happen, it's also a sign to maybe, sit with whatever is coming up for you, and finding out how it is that you can heal that, so it's no longer coming up or causing you any triggers. So let's get right into what our messages are for today. We'll see if it has anything to do with the retrograde and what it is that I was just mentioning there. Let me just get my sleeves out of the way here. All right. We have the Five of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles both coming out in reverse as I'm shuffling. So we're talking about personal setbacks, self-forgiveness and moving on, and self-worth over investment in work and hustling. So, that's interesting. That's really interesting. I was thinking about the self-worth for a second, because there was something about self-worth that recently came up. And actually this morning I put a new number in the angel deck, and it was angel number 41, and it was actually talking about knowing your self-worth. So there was a reason I felt super guided to just put that number in there today. It's been a little while since I added a new number. So I feel like there's a situation where you're feeling like there was a personal setback, and it may have had something to do with maybe underestimating what your self-worth is, your personal value. So finding that self-forgiveness, moving on, being in the heart space, and again, being over invested in work and hustling. That's a way that we can distract ourselves, or that sometimes we use keeping ourselves busy as a distraction, right? So don't don't overinvest yourself into a project or into work or into anything to distract yourself, right? If you do have this personal setback and it is bringing up emotions for you, my throat chakra went off a little bit there. You know, do find self-forgiveness for yourself and move on from that, right? You know, take time to find out how you can forgive yourself for that so you can move on. Don't overinvest in anything to distract your mind from what it is that this is speaking to for you. But I'm actually going to continue with the shuffle and see what's coming through. I feel like that was specific for maybe one or just a very small group of individuals tuning in. So for the collective, what it is that we need to be... Ooh, that one was jumpy. I'm curious what that was. That was the Eight of Swords. So negative thoughts, self-imposed restrictions, imprisonment, and victim mentality. So I feel like that's really speaking about... We're getting a little story coming through here with that Five of Cups and that Nine of Pentacles that we saw. I'm going to stick that back in, but let's see what actually comes through because it didn't turn over. Usually the cards for me... So what do we need to be aware of? Oh, there it is. And what do we need to be focusing on? Wow. Thought we almost had more turnover. We did not. But we do have two more cards here, both in reverse. We have the Nine of Swords, not my favorite card for the collective, and the Seven of Swords, also in reverse. So we're talking about inner turmoil, deep-seated fears, secrets, and releasing worry, and imposter syndrome. You know, again, we were talking about Mercury retrograde, communication frustration. I feel like I might be experiencing that a little bit. I'm just kind of really stumbling on this message a little bit. So if you find yourself just like having trouble like just communicating anything, just know that retrograde is here. It's not you. You're not losing your marbles, okay? So imposter syndrome and self-deceit and keeping secrets. So going back to those three cards that had already come through as we were shuffling, I feel like there is a situation, or maybe it is just this retrograde energy that's causing you to feel like there is a situation. You know, there's inner turmoil and this deep-seated fears. So maybe I feel like this situation might even, you know, I was mentioning about self-worth, self-value. So I'm feeling like this, there's like a belief, like a limiting belief, or a belief that you have. So yeah, in yesterday's reading, we were talking about personal beliefs, right? So again, quite a storyline I have playing through with my readings this past week. So some of you, there is this situation happening in regards to, you know, something from your past, right? And going back to the Five of Cups and the Nine of Pentacles in reverse, I feel like the situation is, you know, it's a deep-seated fear that you've had with you for a really long time, this belief that you've carried with you. It creates a lot of fear for you, you know, and I feel like, you know, there's like secrets, deception, and we have deceit, self-deceit coming up in the Seven of Swords. So I'm feeling like you're trying not to kind of give into this deep-seated fear. It's like a belief that you put on yourself that it's kind of holding you back. It creates a lot of inner turmoil for you. And again, going back to that Five of Cups, Nine of Pentacles, I'm feeling it's creating a lot of that emotion for you. But it's almost like you're deceiving yourself, you know, and you're putting on this like mask, your ego is very, you're wearing your ego very, very, gosh, what's the word I'm looking for? I just feel like the people around you, it's like you're trying to put on this mask, but the people around you are really seeing through. You know, it's like you're really only deceiving yourself in regards to, you know, it's like you're keeping this a secret, these fears that you have. I feel like, you know, going back to that inner healing that I was talking about, I feel that you do need to look within and find out what is this belief that you have, that it's kind of like you're wearing a mask by trying to pretend that or trying to make other people think that you don't have this fear, this thing that's holding you back. You know, and it's like you're trying to wear this mask also so that people don't see the inner turmoil that it causes for you. But it is self-deceit. I feel like the only person that you might be fooling is yourself a little bit here. And I say that with all love. It's just what's coming through in the cards, okay? You know, and secrets is coming up in both of these cards right here. So again, I feel like you really are trying to keep this fear of yours, this belief of yours, a secret. But I feel like the people around you are starting to pick up on the fact that there's just something amiss here. And you know, releasing worry is coming up. So I feel like for some of you, this belief has a lot to do with a worry that you have. It's like someone said something to you once and it created it kind of stayed in your mind, and over the years it's like something that you carried with you. Wow, that's really specific what I'm hearing right now. So it's almost like you heard something once, someone said something to you or did something to you, and it created this belief in you, and so you put on this mask where you had to try and hide that whatever this was doesn't create fear and anxiety and worry and turmoil within you. But it's like you've been wearing that mask for so long now. It's like people are starting to see that that's just not true. That's not the true you. People are starting to see that there is a sense of an illusion going on here in terms of who you are and how you're presenting yourself to the people around you. That's really what I'm seeing, and it's almost like it's making me think about an experience. I'll tell you, from when I was like maybe 12 years old. Someone said something to me once, like I was body shamed. Like who body shames a 12-year-old girl? It happened. It was an adult, a male adult who body shamed me. Absolutely horrible. But it happened, and it stayed with me for years and years and years. I have been super petite my entire life, and I carried this belief with me that I was a chubby girl, and that actually created a lot of anxiety with me. I put on this mask. I always tried to create this illusion that I was thinner than I actually was, and so the fact that I was already tiny and creating that illusion, it was just like people could see right through, like, what is she trying to prove? Like, we get it, you know, you're skinny. So that's just kind of an example that I have, right, of, you know, that might have resonated for someone, but that's just like going back to when you were quite young. It was like someone said something to you that it was just like, you were like, wait, what? And the wall went right up and it never came down. But, you know, releasing worry, I'm hearing, please do look into with these cards, you know, the interpretation of them. But for this releasing worry, I'm feeling like, you know, it is time for you to let go of this, okay? Let go of that belief that you have that's creating you so much pain. It's a lot of, it's heavy energy that we're getting from these cards today. So let's see what your angel number guidance is, okay? So this is what it is that your angels, your spirit guides, higher counsel, higher self would have to say to help you to move through this. And I feel so grateful to be delivering this message, because honestly, I don't want anyone to feel what I'm picking up in these messages today. So I'm just so grateful that I think I already split. I can't recall, you guys, so we're gonna do it again. So let's just see, what do we have for you? How can we help you get through this, okay? What do the angels have for us in terms of getting through this belief? There we go. Nice one message. I like that. Nice and clean message. Number 916 is here for you, okay? So this is a message from your angels that they are helping you to clear away anxiety, worry, limiting beliefs in regards to life, purpose, and monetary issues in life. Guys, it's what the card says. I have a new lamp coming in, okay? So bear with my lighting. Angel number 916, okay? So wow, I mean, that message was so on point, you guys. So this is what your angels are telling you, that they're here for you right now. They're helping you to release this, okay? We did have that lunar eclipse, which was all about releasing limiting beliefs, negative restrictions. You know, there was this the word imprisonment came up in one of the cards that came out, and I do feel like that it like whatever's going on here for you, it is making you feel like you're almost imprisoned within yourself, like you're not even free to be who you actually are. your angels are like super here for you to let you know that like they're helping you to just clear that away so you can just move on and be free. You know, the hummingbird has been an animal that's been around me a lot lately. It just speaks about, you know, the playfulness and the lightness of life, and I feel like your angels really do want you to get back into that. Okay. Now whatever the situation was for you, now I explained my situation, you know, body shaming when I was a teenage, like even before, like I think it was like 12 when that happened. Um, but this is in regards to your life purpose and monetary issues in life. Okay. So, you know, maybe, say for just an example, okay, it can be an array of things, but if you're like a very spiritual person, and you wanted to be more like fill more of a professional role in regards to your spirituality, but the people around you, maybe they just don't understand. They don't believe in the same things that you believe in. That was something that came up yesterday, was the people around you not really believing in what you believe in. Okay. So I, you know, again, a continuation from all of this past week's messages. So this is about you clearing away a situation, about being able to just, again, like I said, truly expressing who you actually are. And it has regards to your money stream, okay, your income source. So, you know, monetary issues in life. And I have been doing a number of personal readings that have been talking about some of you having still some limiting beliefs in regards to money, and that's what's holding you back from actually being able to manifest the monetary abundance that you have every right to in this life. Okay. So um, so really, I really feel guided to mention, you know, just take time to sit with yourself today. You know, meditation is a great way. If you're new to it, it can take time, but you know, meditation really does help us to look within and find the things that, you know, we need to ask ourselves, like, what is this situation? Because for some of you, it might have been something that you've been trying to ignore for so long that, again, self-deceit, it's like you're kind of believing in it for yourself, but the people around you don't. So, you know, just do find ways to check in with yourself on how you can find out what the situation is for you so that you can just have it gone, and that so you can just, you know, move on. Okay. And if you do need help trying to find out what the situation is for you, please do reach out out to me, because I'm here for you, and you know, I'll help you to find out what the situation is for you. Okay. So that's what we have for you. And I also wanted to finish off by letting you guys know, since we are in this Mercury retrograde, I will be doing a reading as well to touch in about what the overall energy for the retrograde is. Okay. And that's happening for 2 or 3 weeks. So I might even do a weekly update on that so that we can all be aware on not only what our daily messages are, but what we need to be aware of for the overall energy for the week. Because, you know, as you can see, this retrograde has really caused a bit of a shift, because this is quite different from the messages we've been seeing this week. So you know, check in for those, and I look forward to seeing you guys then. Okay, be well.